Armstrong High School for Northwest Suburban Conference Volleyball. We're just about to the end of the regular season. It's Maple Grove paying a visit to the Falcons here this evening. I am Jay Wilcox along with Andy Gugesberg. And Andy, these teams' overall records are quite different. Armstrong's having a strong year at 18-5. Maple Grove is right at 500, but within the conference, they're in about the same spot. They played in a tournament not long ago, and it was a decent match.
Yeah, you know, both these teams are actually very even, with the conference kind of splitting and giving everybody opportunities to schedule out-of-conference matches. I think Coach Sean Haugen went a little different route than Aisha did, and as a result, the win-loss record is going to be a little bit skewed. Both these teams both have some young talent that can really bring it, though.
Yeah, we'll talk about key players tonight. We're going to focus on a couple of super softs here, starting with Maple Grove, and Alexi Preet has had a pretty nice year as a 10th grader for them.
Yeah, Preet, I think it's her second year of varsity if memory serves. A good 6 rotation player, leads the team in kills, can score in a variety of ways, and with what they graduated last year, and in my opinion, one of the best middles, one of the best setters in the state, to come back and be able to have an outlet outside hitter for a new setter is something that really, really takes the pressure off.
And for Armstrong, they've got a young player who has a pretty exciting announcement that she had to make this last weekend, committing to Penn State, and Lauren Clark.
Yeah, Lauren Clark is a flat-out stud. She just plays angry, and I use that very complimentary. I use that same phrase to talk about Tina Bowe when she was this age. And she just plays with a heart and a desire. She hits a high, hard, heavy ball. Russ Rose knows what he's getting, always has, always will, and he got a beast in Lauren Clark. She'll score from at least 2 different positions. She'll play left front and middle back, and every once in a while they'll put her over on the right side just to keep you honest, and look for her to get the ball a ton tonight.
Well, we're close enough to the playoffs now. There's a crossover conference match next week, and Armstrong will be in a tournament this weekend, but we're close enough now that you want to say, okay, let's start being section ready, and let's try and do it against a like opponent tonight.
Yeah, absolutely true. I was just actually talking with some of the Armstrong kids beforehand about, you know, you don't need to be really good in September. You can still feel it out a little bit. But this is the time. We're starting to get, like you said, tournament ready. You've got to have your lineup locked in. You've got to have who's going to take what ball in the seam. And all those little nuances that in August you kind of shrugged off have got to get locked in right now.
All right, we'll see who comes out on top tonight. It'll help determine who plays who next week in that Northwest Suburban Conference crossover matchup as well. It's the Crimson and the Falcons coming away next here on 12 Sports.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
And welcome back here to Armstrong as the teams taking their warm-ups here this evening as the Crimson and Falcons get set to do battle. It is senior night as well here at Armstrong, so they'll be recognizing their seniors, and their starting lineup also includes a little bit different look because of that they want to work their seniors into action. Falcons getting ready to compete in the Brainerd tournament over the weekend, and see the Crimson been more mistake prone than they would like, and they feel like, if they can shore that up a little bit. Here's the starting lineup for Coach Haugen and the Crimson this evening. Allison Hinsey will be their libero, Shea Matthews, Lexi Preed, Paige Hinsey, Annika Peeler, Madison Black, and their setter is Zoe Brown, who's kind of been learning on the job, hasn't played the position for a real long time, but is getting better and better with that. Alyssa Eggstead, Lauren Clark, Chloe Kalber, Allie Gruhl, Maddie Zanenko be the libero, Elise Schumacher, and their setter, Kelsey Ripberger, the two-setter for Armstrong. And definitely a good overall year for the Falcons. Like you said, you're looking outside your conference, you're scheduling some different things. They build up some confidence. There's always that back and forth, do you want to schedule all top 10 teams and maybe lose them all and feel like that helps, or you've got that mixture, I think, for when you're scheduling.
Yeah, and each coach will handle it differently, and you got to know your players, right? You'll have a coach that schedules all, like you said, all top 10 teams, and maybe this year, like Hopkins might be an example. One year you can schedule all top teams in your preseason, and you can go 4-2 in that non-conference schedule, and then the next year you might go 1-5. And what do your athletes need? What does the section need is kind of something that's starting to become a bigger and bigger piece, with the QRF taking over a few more sections each and every year, taking the human element out of section seating. And so we're sitting in a situation now where Armstrong decided, okay, let's get some wins under our belt. Let's get some confidence going. And it's shown, because as the season has progressed into the conference season, they've won matches that in years previous they hadn't been winning. So Aisha knows exactly what her team needed and has them in a good place right now to finish out the regular season.
And Maple Grove, a younger, there's a look at Coach Kahn for the Falcons. And Maple Grove, a younger group, like you had talked about, how they had some real mainstays that they had relied on. And now, you're moving other players to a more prominent role, or you're moving them onto varsity. And so it definitely been some growing pains, some lumps taken along the way. But there's still, a program and a team that on a given night can certainly beat a lot of people, and they're looking to get better and better, and maybe surprising people a little bit in the playoffs.
Yeah, you never want to sleep on a Sean Haugen coach team. He gets his kids ready to play for the big matches when it matters. He's got the Crimson, like he was talking about with us earlier, like we mentioned a couple times, a little more error prone than he's used to, but they'll figure it out. They always do. They'll pick off a team late and be the talk of the town heading into section play. And maybe tonight's that night. Maybe tonight they get revenge on a team that beat them at the Hopkins tournament a couple weeks ago. It's in Armstrong's gym, so I like Armstrong's chances. But either way, we're in for a battle tonight with these two teams.
And Coach Kahn from Armstrong, too, said, I asked her about that matchup, and she said she felt like both teams were pretty tired, to be honest. It was a night after a homecoming dance and that sort of thing. And, she didn't feel like it was probably the A game for either the Crimson or the Falcons when they met in that tournament. And that's all part of it, too. I mean, let's face it, it's a different deal when you're playing 5-6 matches over a couple days, and you're probably not going to be at your sharpest every night or every match within a tournament like that.
Right, and it's, who did you just play? What was your schedule? Were you back-to-back? Did you just lose a heart setter or a heartbreaker, or did you get blown out? If it was a win right beforehand, was it an easy win that your starters didn't have to work that hard, or was it a grinder where emotionally they're spent? There's a lot of things that lead up to it. Now we're in a one-match, one-day situation, so here it is, all on the line for a pretty favorable or unfavorable crossover in that Northwest Suburban Conference that will have some section implications.
Going to go to lineups in a moment here. We'll take a break and come back here with more of our coverage here. You're watching Northwest Suburban Volleyball on 12 Sports. The Crimson and the Falcons coming up next.
to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back here to Armstrong High School as the Crimson and Falcons get set to battle it out here. As we said, really getting down to that end of the regular season as Maple Grove will be in action at a tournament this weekend in Lakeville North tournament, and also then Armstrong hitting the road go up to Brainerd.
Yeah, that Lakeville North tournament's going to have about 5 of the top 12 teams in the state of Minnesota in Class A, AA, or AAA. I haven't quite seen Maple Grove's pool, but I guarantee you they're going to get tested early, and looking forward to what the battle can bring. Because that, again, I mean, this is the point of the year where all the matches that you could, in your section meeting to go over seeding, early on, yeah, we can push that away. We can say, well, it wasn't that big a deal. But now this is the rhythm. This is, what do you do in your last 5 regular season matches? And Maple Grove and Armstrong both going to need to have pretty good showings at this tournament that they're going to.
I also think there's a little bit of a mental part of it too about, if you're having maybe not the season you wanted or whatever, are there people who are looking to the end? You want people who are going to be excited and be ready for playoffs versus, let's get ready for a winter sport, or let's, try and get this over with type thing. And I think, let's be honest, that can happen within the length of a high school season.
Yeah, absolutely true, and it's that point where, and we'll talk about it when we start doing section play as well. Seniors start getting that feel. It's senior night here tonight. I think Sean said they had theirs just recently. It's the little things like, okay, this might be my last time stepping on the home court. This might be this, that, the other thing, and now we're sitting in a situation where flooding of memories, thinking about how are we representing ourselves, what's the legacy we're leaving. I heard a really good conversation between a couple of varsity coaches last weekend, and they were just talking about the legacy that the classes before this year left and how that matters. And I think, Maple Grove had a pretty strong senior class last year. Those girls, the underclassmen, really came in and are doing some nice things. I think this is the class right now. This junior and senior class for Armstrong are really going to reset a tempo for a once strong program to come back in and really maybe get some sectional dominance going on.
It does, especially when you get to be a senior. I think it feels like things fly by quick. I mean, all your time you've spent in a gym as a young player, even looking up to the varsity players and getting ready to play varsity, and then you have to kind of savor it a little bit, but at the same time not let it dominate your thoughts. I think you have to come out and play your style of ball.
Right, and we're going to see it right now as we have Rippenberger already starting to give her team feedback as to what they want to be running. Interesting where they're starting here. They're starting with Rippenberger in the 2, which puts Clark in the 3, which means she's only going to get 1.5 rotations in the front row before she goes to the back row. Unless they get her the ball a lot in the back row, could be a little bit of a spin. But I guess now that I'm thinking about it, she did tell us that she was going to spin the lineup a little bit, maybe get some seniors in. So maybe this is the rotation they can start in to get some seniors that starting spot for senior night. And we'll see how it all plays out.
Paige Hinsey will serve to start things out for Maple Grove. And we are underway here in the opening set. Ripberger giving it to Clark and had it denied. They'll come right back to Lauren Clark, this time tipping, but the Crimson ready for it. Nice block put up by Armstrong, and now Maple Grove in a little misfire there as Shea Matthews trying to find an angle to get that one over.
Yeah, Matthews does a good job there of getting her feet to the ball, just doesn't quite finish. I think she wants to go 4-4 there and attack Clark, but didn't quite get it over the net.
Kelsey Ripberger serving here for the Falcons. Strong serve, can they pull it off the net? And tipped home by Clark. Maple Grove had to struggle as that pass was into the net.
Taking care of your opportunities. We called it Ashley Whitman defense when I coached down in the South. When you have a player like Clark, you got to get on a ball early. Just like that. I thought she had that corner.
Matthews just missing, so Armstrong will build the lead to 3-0. This time Maple Grove able to get into their offense. Ripberger a nice dig. And they'll come right side with it, sent over by Preed. Now Clark trying to drop that one in. Allison Hinsey with the dig. Good long rally here. Neither team really attacking hard. Clark pushing it over with the left hand.
Good shot there.
And here's Lauren Clark, and she will find that deep corner and score it. So Armstrong, a long point there, and they end up pulling it out 4-0.
Yeah, Clark gets high on the ball, sees the deep 5 wide open, and Hinsey kind of hoping that ball was going to head out of bounds, but enough topspin to put it in play.
So Ripberger has had a nice serving run to start, but too strong with that one, and Maple Grove on the board. And they will break the momentum a little bit, get the side out, and Allison Hinsey, the freshman, will serve here for the Crimson. Off the block. Maple Grove coming middle, and they'll get it done as Annika Peeler with the kill for the Crimson, and they're within 4-2.
And look for Clark to get the ball again here on the right side. They have her stacked over on the right to get against a smaller block.
Right side and put away by Preed.
Preed, I think, typically plays left side, but she seems pretty comfortable over there on the right as she goes cross court, and Fry and Ripberger kind of figuring out who's going to take that ball in the seam between the two of them.
So Hinsey answering Ripberger's good serving run with one of her own. There's an overpass and quickly put away by Peeler. And so Maple Grove a slow start. Now Armstrong's turn to struggle a little bit as Maple Grove quickly rattles off 4, and we're even up at 4 apiece. Come right side to Clark and denied.
It's a smooth block on the right side. Let's take another look here. 4 hands, 2 get across well. Great block by number 9 there, Matuas.
Tipped in the middle, but good positioning by Zoe Brown. Cross court, and that one's going to miss the court as Preed tried to cut it at a sharp angle, and Armstrong will even it up, and now Lauren Clark to serve. And that one put away as Matu's gets some top spin on it and able to drop it in over the Armstrong defender.
Matu's just really gets a heavy hand on that ball, finishes shoulder to shoulder through it. Nice swing by her. Lead for the Crimson.
Preed to serve here for Maple Grove. Long run for Ripberger to get to that one. Clark will have to send it over, but then Maple Grove, a little lack of communication as Paige Hinsey and Preed bump each other there, so 6-6. Coming in now for Armstrong, Olivia Hecht. Maddie Zanenko to serve here for Armstrong. Tipped over in an open spot as finding the open area was Matu's there for Maple Grove, and they go back in front here 7-6. Alyssa Peterson serving here for the Crimson. And they're able to sneak it through the block there as Audrey Schumacher will get the kill for Armstrong.
Schumacher does a really good job being patient on that ball. Nice swing.
Bumped over there by Allison Hinsey. Now to the outside, and the kill for Hecht there. The timing wasn't exactly perfect on that one, but the blockers are actually on the way down a little bit and kind of worked to her advantage.
Yeah, Hecht with a little stutter step there on that slide. Fry with another serve here.
8th grader. They go right side, but blocked by Hecht.
Delay on the double contact call there.
Point for the Falcons here, and they will go up by 2 again. So both teams with some young talent. Fry as an 8th grader getting good varsity time. And dropped in by Preed. Get the serve back here for the Crimson.
Preed does a really good job finding the seam between Zanenko and Clark there, and Coach Coon trying to get him figured out as far as who's going to take that ball in the seam.
Peeler, who's had some good moments here in this first set, serving with her team down by a point. Back to the outside, they come to Hecht. Good block, but then a good hands by Zoe Brown. They'll come to Clark, but a shot into the tape there by Lauren Clark. And we'll be evened up at 9.
She kind of overran the ball a little bit, took a little lackadaisical swing as she went through that ball. Didn't quite get it over the net. Block was set up pretty well as well, so was going to run into problems if that ball went over.
Oops, Peeler lost her concentration a little bit, it looked like, on that one, and misfires. So 10-9 Armstrong lead now, and Audrey Schumacher will serve.
You can tell it's a good bench as Peeler comes off, and everybody's kind of chuckling a little bit. Everybody loose and comfortable on that. Ooh, nice block.
Yeah, Falcons were ready for that one. Hecht up there and got most of that one, as Clark was there as well. Actually, it's Clark who gets most of it, sorry. You see it at a different angle. And that one put away. A good aggressive swing by Paige Hinsey there for Maple Grove.
Nice high outside set. Hinsey turns it down the line, kind of in that 1-6 seam. Really good location on that. Going back to that block that Clark had, Brown jump set and had nobody up with her. Sean Haugen's got to let her setter know that that dump is going to be available.
Tip to the middle by Clark. Nice dig to get there by Alyssa Eggstad. Allie Hinsey will have to play this one over. Now over there's Ripberger with the dump, but they get to it. And it'll land just out. Armstrong timed it right, didn't quite turn the ball back into the court though on that block.
Preed, as advertised, finding a few different ways to score right now.
The left-hander Zoe Brown, strong serve. Ripberger did a pretty good job setting that ball, a tough one. And that one denied. Just a little tip, and they were ready for that.
Now the error there goes to the middle as she overran it. You can't see the block in front of you if the ball is behind you. You got to make sure you get your spacing right so you can hit with a little more range.
Here's the older Schumacher Elise serving, and that one is too strong. Good talk there by Maple Grove as they called off Hinsey as she was backing up to try and play it, and now here's Paige Hinsey. Kind of interesting. It's a pretty big crowd, but fairly quiet. It's just kind of, people are kind of just taking it all in right now. There's an overpass and put away at the net by Preed. And Maple Grove goes back in front now by a point.
Good vision on the block on the overpass. There we see the student section just getting warmed up, I think. They'll be into it in a little bit here, hopefully.
Clark firing away. Allie Hinsey able to dig it up. Preed with an opportunity, but that one's denied. And Armstrong excited about their defense on that one, and they get the side out and tie it up at 13.
Yeah, great defensive effort here. Preed gets a pretty good set, but the block waiting for it. Hinsey overruns her coverage a little bit, so is on the back pedal, as they say, trying to pick up that coverage ball.
Here's Ripberger. They call her Nugget, and she's up there to serve here. And a misfire on the left side there for Matthews.
Matthews saw something open. She got real excited. That's the fastest I've seen her arm go, but just kind of misfiring, yes, like you said.
Ripberger had a good serving run to start this set for Armstrong, and she'd love to duplicate that here, but strong hit put away there by Preed.
I like the action on the down ref's antenna right now. It's a lot of Preed and a lot of Clark letting these two all-stars go at each other.
Allison Hinsey to serve. Ripberger is going to come to Clark, and she'll send it over. Another strong block by Armstrong. They have been able to score points with the block on several occasions. Matthews denied here.
I think the Maple Grove coverage is a little too tight. The block is a little bit late coming over, so the angle isn't quite what they're used to. So the ball is getting blocked back to 20 to 25 feet. They need to put somebody in that space to make a play.
Hinsey a little indecisive on that one, kind of stabbed at it, and turned out her pass was a bullet into the net there. So Armstrong will take a 2-point lead with Lauren Clark serving. Great effort, and then put away as Preed wasn't going to take any chances. That ball may or may not have gotten over the net, but she said, hey, I'm going to get up and get it.
Yeah, good swing here. The tight ball comes back over. She goes up a second time, and that time it finds real estate on the floor.
And Preed with the serve.
Uh-oh.
Schumacher able to push that ball over. Armstrong gets a little lucky there, but they'll take it as Schumacher at least realized that they were in trouble and controlled her body enough not to get into the net.
Yeah, great body control. Those tight sets just scare the coach. Even if you get the point, you're nervous about what's going to happen on the landing. That's where ACLs and MCLs and all sorts of bad stuff happens.
Ace serve there for Maddie Zanenko, one of the Armstrong captains, as she's able to drop this one in front. As Preed, I think, misread it just a little bit there, didn't come up on it. So 18-15, the biggest lead either team's had in a long time here.
Yes.
Armstrong trying to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the reason that serve is so tough to read is Zanenko has a little bit of a jump float. The jump float serve doesn't put any more power on a serve, but what it does do is it changes the angle of contact. So instead of a ball from the ground going all the way up and all the way down, the ball doesn't go up as far, making the read on the serve receiver's part much more difficult to find the bottom of the ball, which is the part you're looking in as you pass. Sean Haugen just calling the timeout here to get his athletes back under control, talking about the little things. I see him pointing at a couple kids like, hey, now is your time, now is your chance. He's looking at Peeler like, yep, your window right now to go make a play, and we'll see how she responds off the timeout. Clark, as advertised, super athletic, doing some really nice things. Like to see her a little more controlled with her first touch, but we've got some time to see some improvement, and Russ Rose does as well, as she is only a sophomore and already making that commitment to go play for the Nittany Lions.
Well, and she's been already in this program as a top-level player for a couple of years prior to this, so a real veteran presence even as a 10th grader. And now Zanenko to serve again here for the Falcons. Hinsey's pass pretty tight to the net. Schumacher got up. Now here's a swing for Schumacher. Hinsey there. And nice job by Heck to read that ball well. Puts it away.
Yeah, we'll see this again. Good net presence as Heck recognizes that is her ball, and she goes up and gets it.
4-point Armstrong lead. Zanenko again serving it at Hinsey. Clark had to push that one over. Pounded, but Zanenko fought it off. Heck with the tip. Now Maple Grove will come back out to the left. Clark able to dig that one. And then they crossed him up a little bit, I think, by going right side to Fry.
And Fry just waiting her turn. Great exchange from the 8th grader. I love her arm swing. Good rip for a 5-point lead now for Armstrong.
Back out to the outside, swatted over, but Zanenko is able to get there. And then Schumacher will get it done. The block didn't close here.
Block horizontally pretty good, but doesn't penetrate the net. And there's that Drano ball we coaches like to really get frustrated by. Nothing you can do there. Nobody can dig that ball if you get beat between you and the net.
Almost looked like in the second look like the two blockers maybe collided just a touch as they were coming forward, and that threw things off. And put away here nicely though by Matthews to get the side out back here for Maple Grove. It's kind of now or never for them in this set, I think.
Yeah, 21-15. Need a push right now. They get the side out. Matthews going all hard all the time. I love the grit she's playing with right now.
Alyssa Peterson serving here for the Crimson. Good hustle to get to that one off the tip. And the line judge had the flag come up. And I believe saying that ball was outside the antenna.
Interesting.
So it's going to be Armstrong's point. And Riley Fry will serve. Could be a key one here going Armstrong's way. Fry a bullet. Hinsey able to get that pass up just enough. And then a strong hit from the back by Preed. Will get the point for Maple Grove.
Preed getting it done from the backcourt there as well.
Here's Peeler to serve now for Maple Grove. And serving error will score it for Armstrong. That was a big one. 23-17 Falcons now as Audrey Schumacher will head back to try and see if she can get a couple points and get this first set in the books for her team. Nice block, but Hinsey fought it off. Now Clark gets chance. Maple Grove a little scattered, and they'll get it done as the left-hand tip by Brown. And the blockers were mistimed just a little bit there. Yeah, Clark got up, but Heck didn't.
I like Brown's draw there. Both arms up. Ooh, missed serve there.
So Brown, a good play, but then they've had back-to-back serving errors, and it's kind of like what Coach was talking about, how he said we just, at this point, give away too many points, and we're seeing it right there. Elise Schumacher to serve here for Armstrong, 24-18 lead. And that one is wide, so Armstrong will prevail in this first set as the Falcons take it 25-18. Here's a look at the last point for the Falcons.
Deep serve between the two Hinseys, takes the ball off the net. I like the aggressive swing by Preed there, but she just misses that sideline. You're not going to come back from 24-18 tipping. If you're going to score, let's go ahead and score big. She misses there, and the first set goes to Armstrong.
25-18 Falcons. We'll be right back here to Armstrong High School.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Welcome back here to Armstrong. The first set, a close battle for most of the way, but then Armstrong put together a run, got the lead up to about 5-6, and then Maple Grove just not able to overcome a couple of late serving errors too, so the Falcons prevailed 25-18. Again, when they played tournament, of course, best of 3, and Armstrong won 2-1 back at the Hopkins tournament just a little over a week and a half ago. And we'll see how the rest of this one shakes up.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. It was back and forth. You know, Armstrong jumped out early and then matched 4-point runs to start us, and it was back and forth. And then Zanenko went back to serve, put a little run together. Then Fry went back and extended that lead. And at that point, it was just too much to overcome. We'll see how the Crimson respond here, the mighty Leaf.
So Ripberger will start with the serve here in our second set for Armstrong. Interesting, too, talking with Aisha Khan earlier this season. They had back-to-back nights where they blew 2-0 leads. And she said, hopefully we've learned a little bit from that can't back off. She said both as coaches and as players. Right side with it, and Fry able to get it done with that cross-court hit, 1-0.
Good calm swing here. We'll see it again. Ripberger goes to the middle of the court and brings it back across, and the block just simply overruns Fry.
Right side with it, and score the point for Maple Grove's Preed as that one was off a block.
Yeah, good rip by Preed there, not fearing the big block of Clark. Look for Clark on the right side here.
And that pass into the net. Ripberger trying to do her best to deal with it, but it didn't work out. 2-1 lead now, Maple Grove. Preed going to be too long with that one. Armstrong spotted that right away. So 2-2. And Lauren Clark to serve here for the Falcons. And that one into the tape, so Maple Grove will get it right back as they trade serving errors. Peterson to serve here for Maple Grove. Schumacher off the block and good, as Audrey Schumacher, that is, scores it for the Falcons. Got to be fun, we've said sister combinations on each team. That's got to be fun to be able to get a chance to play with your sister. And, I think a lot of times that's a memorable thing, ultimately, even when you're adults, when you have at least a season or two together.
You and I were talking earlier about when Osseo had that run and the Bowmans got to play together. In this exact gym, there was piñatas playing together for what felt like 10, 15 years, I think, when it was all said and done. And yeah, it's a neat feeling to be able to have a sibling on the team that you can either look up to or pull up if you're the older sister. Net violation on Armstrong there.
So we'll be evened up at 4 apiece, and those were kind of a little unforced. Nothing really was happening yet, and you hate to see that happen. If it's you don't want to see it ever, but if you're really straining to make a block or something, it's a little different.
Mm-hmm. Incidental contact, they used to call that in the rule book.
And Maple Grove throwing up a nice block to deny Audrey Schumacher.
Take another look here. Passes off the net. Kind of one option to go to, and Schumacher right into 4 big hands. She's going to want to get her feet to that ball a little bit quicker and be able to take it someplace else.
Peeler serving with a 1-point lead here for the Crimson. Dumped over by Ripberger, but Peeler was ready. Tip to the middle. Great effort by Ripberger, but ultimately Maple Grove will... going to be a net violation, looks like, on Maple Grove.
I think Hinsey got a little excited on that ball. Might have caught net after she hit the ball. Well, that's what the down ref is indicating to Coach Haugen there.
So Riley Fry serving here for Armstrong. pounded, but too long. As Paige Hinsey didn't quite get on top of that ball, just drove it straight forward.
I like the aggression after making an error to not go softly into the night, as they say, but she unloads on another ball, just misses. Stay with it, Hinsey.
And then Fry a serving error, so both teams have had that crop up a little bit more than they would like maybe this evening. Zoe Brown to serve here as she looks to the bench for the signal of where to put this ball. Hecht on the slide and will put it away as Brown was there but couldn't quite get underneath that one, get the ball up.
Ripberger just puts that ball on a tee for Hecht, and she gets her hip and shoulder to flip around the ball. Nice swing.
Roll to the middle, Ripberger, a good effort, and then it's going to be a double contact there. It looks like as Madison Black winning the battle at the net there for Maple Grove. Paige Hinsey to serve for the Crimson, trying to break a 7-all tie here. And Eggstead not able to get that one over from the back, so 8-7 Crimson.
Yeah,
somewhat similar to how the first set was, just kind of back and forth here for a while.
Yeah, no one really taking the reins here in set two. Look for one team to really step out, we hope, and get a little run together.
Hecht with the swing, and then Clark trying to put it away, but good job by Paige Hinsey to get there. And then a misfire into the net by Preed, so Armstrong will get the point ultimately.
Yeah, really heads-up play by, I think that was Hinsey in the back row as the overpass goes up to Clark, and Hinsey just reads a little bit, takes a jab step to her left, and makes a great defensive effort.
Right side they come and put away there by Preed, so Maple Grove gets the serve right back here. 9-8 advantage now for the visiting Crimson. They'll come back to Clark. Allie Hinsey the dig, and it is going to land on the line. Eggstead letting that ball go, and it's a point for Maple Grove.
You know, you mentioned earlier it was a full crowd, but it was really quiet, and it continues with the players. Nobody helping Eggstead out there, whether that ball was in or out, so she has to make a guess on her own, and guess is wrong.
Hinsey the dig, swatted over by Chloe Calber there, and then a block by Clark. And Armstrong kind of used actually blocking to get themselves going a little bit, I think, in that first set, and maybe they'll try and do so again here.
Yeah, big swing there from Preed, and Clark just patiently waiting for that ball to get to her, gets across late, and away we go.
And that serve's going to be wide, though, so Armstrong giving it right back.
This is the type of ball that Sean was talking to us about, high error volleyball. The first team to clean it up, I think, can run away with this set.
Zanenko to Ripberger and disguised that one well and drops it in. Nobody even moved.
Yeah, everybody waiting for somebody else to make a play. At this point in the season, you've got to want to keep a ball off the floor, not want your teammate to make a play.
Clark had that one glance off the side of her hand a little bit, and a missed serve again there for the Falcons, so 12-10 Crimson. And Peterson will come into the lineup here to serve for Maple Grove. Clark getting it to Ripberger, and here's Fry, just too long with that one. So Maple Grove now up by 3 here in the middle of the set.
Biggest lead they've had, I believe, all match.
Outside to Schumacher off the block, but they get there to dig it up. And then Paige Hinsey, it almost looked like she might have changed her mind mid-flight there, and it didn't work out so well.
I think she wanted to go off the block, but her feet didn't get her to the ball, so she had to push and pushed right into the teeth of the block.
Zanenko, a tough serve there, and we had a net violation.
As Sean was telling us, Brown is a converted setter, was a hitter in a previous life, and really enjoys that going over on 2. Got a point for the Crimson in set 1, and had one there, just caught net.
And the mix-up in timing might have helped Maple Grove's cause there. The defense unable to react as Peeler actually just stopped her approach and had to just play it over. So Peeler to serve, her team back up by 2 now. Oops.
This is the type of game you expect to see in August or early September. You normally want to have these errors cleaned up by this point in your season.
That one might have been headed out as well, but Peterson wasn't going to take any chances. Ripberger setting for the slide there. Heck with the swing, and they've been effective with that. Maple Grove has not reacted all that well, and so Maple Grove's lead now evaporates. We're tied up at 14.
Heck, the junior middle blocker, really good off one leg. I don't pay much attention to other sports. She might be a basketball kid, has that look and that build and that flow when running the slide.
Nice pass there, gets it to Ripberger, and Schumacher a swing. Zanenko a nice dig. And then pushed too far out to the corner, and it will be a point for Maple Grove. So Brown to serve here for the Crimson, trying to stretch a 1-point lead. Ripberger going with the dump again, and that one will hit the court, so 15 all.
Got to get a change in vision from the Crimson backcourt defenders. That's 2 balls in a row that have been easily red dumps if they're just watching the right thing.
Zanenko to Ripberger, and now here's Clark getting a swing, but denied. A big block for the Crimson, and they go back in front.
That's that vision piece we were talking about. Look at Pater just line her up. It's a really, really good block. The help there was Brown or Black as well.
Paige Hinsey to serve. Go right side with it, and Allison Hinsey the dig. And skipped off the net and good, and Shea Matthews getting the kill there from Maple Grove, and sometimes you kind of create your own breaks a little bit there. Sure, it was a little lucky, but they started to play better, and that it results in a play like this.
Good spot. That 4 is wide open. Ooh, and the change happens there as Ripberger's dump is picked up.
Crimson able to get it over after the block. Now here's Clark, and that one will be wide and score the point for Armstrong.
Clark abusing the block there. It's a well-positioned block, but the advantage will almost always go to the attacker in those situations.
Hecht with the serve for Armstrong, and too long. So both teams, we said, have had significant service error problems here tonight. Hinsey to serve now with her team up by 2. They'll come to Clark and sneaks that one between the blockers there. 18-17 as we go back and forth.
Good rip there by the sophomore outside. Really, really hitting downhill well right now.
And that serve just out. Thought for a moment they'd made a mistake by letting it go, but not quite. Oh, yeah.
Oh, great camera work, guys. It's a very close serve, just misses wide. Good job by Hinsey to know her court and to let that one go.
Fry rolling that one over. Maple Grove fighting, but they can't get it back.
scoreboard says 18-18, but I believe we had it right at 19-17. That may come back for us. Coach Haugen not really worried about it, so maybe we did miss a point in there somewhere.
Zanenko digging that one up. Now Schumacher firing away. And tipped home by Brown. Boy, it's interesting. If you don't catch that right away, it's tough to go back.
Right. Yeah, and we're past the point where they're going to remember that the call that was maybe out or maybe in on the serve actually went the other way.
Schumacher, big swing there, but dug up. Ripberger will come to Fry right side, and Peterson only able to get one hand over, and she corrected herself right away, but it was too late by then, of course, and it's 19-all.
The 8th grader having a nice little match over there on the right side.
Zanenko was a key server in that first set for Armstrong, and this would be a spot where she'd love to get something going. There's Hecht denying that one at the net. She's had a pretty solid match here for the Falcons.
Yeah, Brown looking to send that ball over, and Hecht, great eyes getting on the ball and on the setter who's dumping.
Down the line, but wide with that one. Paige Hinsey took an aggressive swing, but not able to hit it, so Armstrong goes up by 1.
Timeout called by Sean Haugen and the Crimson as they are behind for the first time, maybe all set, definitely for the first time in a while. Everything kind of was running their way. They were able to do a couple nice, easy things to get some runs together. We're playing some pretty low air ball, and now we have a pass that's tight that when the setter tries to dump gets blocked, and we have a attack that's, again, missed by maybe 3 boards. You know, very good swing that just misses, and it's those little errors late in sets that will cost you sets and give matches away. We'll see how the Crimson come out of the timeout. You see Aish over here kind of communicating what everybody needs to be doing. Looked like we had assistant coach Anita McLeod over talking to Clark earlier about what's going to be open and what they're expecting from the stud sophomore off the timeout. Anybody's match right now. Race to 5, as we used to say. So Falcons up 1-0 in the small games there, and we'll see how it goes off the timeout.
Zanenko back to the service line here for Armstrong. They try and finish strong again in this set like they did in the first, and it'll happen starting with that one maybe. 22-20 Falcons lead.
Very rarely a libero can offensively affect a match this much, but Zanenko's serve is doing just that. Put a run together to separate in set 1, and now has given her team the lead in set 2. And another great one.
Schumacher, and that one's going to be tough to handle. It comes off the ceiling, and ultimately they can't find it as it bounced around a little bit up there. 23-20 now Armstrong, as Audrey Schumacher with the kill for the Falcons.
Haugen wants another timeout. Going to give Zanenko a little more time to think about this one. I love Peterson's vision to stay with that ball, and yep, if I'm looking over here at Coach Sean Haugen as he's talking to his team, pointing at Peterson like she's still in the play. You guys got to make sure you stay in the play whistle to whistle. You're not allowed to give up on anything that simple. Use your head, keep track of the little things. Let's go ahead and play whistle to whistle. And now we have the same question, Brown asking, is it even legal to play off that? Well, you play until somebody blows a whistle, and you let the ref make that call. Don't let the ball hit the ground and wait and see what could have happened, should have happened. Everything going the way right now for the Falcons is they're on, I believe it's a 6-0 run from Zanenko, up 23-20 late in set 2.
So as you might expect, Armstrong, mostly smiles coming out of the timeout there, and funny how that works. The team that's on a good roll or that's ahead, they're just a little bit happier coming out of the huddle, but Maple Grove, they can't, you can't hang your head. I mean, you can't undo what's just been done. They gotta fight back. They're still in it.
You can't get tight. You can't get frustrated. You just got to play 1 point at a time.
Hinsey has to dive to get to that ball. Ripberger reversing course, now gets it to Fry. Zanenko, a nice pass to Ripberger, and here's Hecht, and just wide with that one. So Maple Grove dodges a bullet there, and they are to within 2 again now at 23-21.
Oh, and now we have.
Oh, wait a minute.
Look at this.
I'm sorry, incorrect. Armstrong point. Ruling the ball was tipped.
Interesting here.
Boy, if it didn't hit fingers, it came awful close. I am not so sure there. I think that might be the right call. So it goes Armstrong's way, and Zanenko will try and finish it off.
Great up by Ripberger.
Schumacher had to reach for that one. Hinsey will give it in the back there to Preed. Here's Fry, and that one is too long, so Maple Grove stays alive here.
Finally the side out. Now they got to run here. I've seen it happen 24-21, but it's got to take focus from everyone on the Crimson side, and they may need a break or two here from Armstrong.
Melanie out, called in to serve here for Maple Grove. Ripberger to Hecht, and a net violation against Armstrong, so no point for them. It's 24-22. Boy, it looked like they had it wrapped up in style there, but got the net.
And Sean Haugen pops off the bench, not happy with his block for letting Hecht get that available.
Schumacher. Oh, and a nice dig to keep it alive here for Maple Grove. Push to the middle. Ripberger gets there. Now Zanenko will give it to Clark. Come left side with it to Hinsey there. Now here's Schumacher getting another swing, and Maple Grove is to within a point. They are not going down without a fight here in this second set. When that call changed to a touch and it went 24-20, you're thinking, boy, this would be easy to just kind of be deflated, but they have fought back.
I love the attitude and energy we're seeing from the Crimson right now. And that's what happens, right? You think it might be the end. Let's take a look at this point, and then we'll get back to that thought. Little out-of-system ball. Roll shot, not swinging to win because they don't want to give it away. Little bump set here. Again, Hinsey afraid to take the big swing. Puts it in a spot where Ripberger has to take it. Clark out of the back row. Out of system. Peterson coming in to make the play. This time we get a little better pace from Hinsey. Another out-of-system ball, and this one goes not. She's trying to go line, misses it into the net. 4-24-23. When you're in that situation where you think you win a point, which they would have at like 21-23 or 24, I think it was, and then you find a way to steal a point, to get a little run going. Now you're, as they say, you're playing with house money at this point. So now we're just going to run and we're going to play free. Now the timeout has happened, giving Maple Grove the opportunity to think about, hey, we're in this. So now the pressure might be back on, and we'll see what this serve looks like off the timeout.
Out called serve is too long, and Armstrong will pull it out in a tight battle, 25-23. Getting a little bit of drama late in that second set, including a call change and everything. So interesting one, but then the error gives it back.
Yeah, good off the timeout. You could tell that Armstrong was in a place where they were just going to stay calm and relaxed, and then didn't even have to make a play there because that pressure, like we were talking about during the timeout, the pressure off that timeout led to a missed serve. Good volleyball. Errors towards the end cost both teams. Armstrong comes out on top.
So they're up 2-0. There's a little serving contest here between the second and third. Falcons are up 2-0 here on 12 Sports.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
And welcome back here to Armstrong High School. The Falcons leading Maple Grove 2-0, 25-18 and 25-23 wins. Well, of course, the players in the match are getting a lot of FaceTime on TV tonight, but so are some of the fans as part of our Put Me on TV campaign. Here's a look at some of the photos that we've received here as the Falcons and Crimson doing battle tonight. So thanks to all the fans who sent in those pictures. Some good ones there. I like it as the Falcons and Crimson getting set to begin set number 3. And Andy, now the question for Maple Grove is, how do you get yourself, rallied back? You're close, especially in the second, and you fight off that disappointment and say, okay, let's wipe the slate clean.
Yeah, I think nobody is a bigger fan down 0-2 of the 5-minute break for the serving game than the away team. That if they're up 2-0, suddenly, why do we have to leave? What's going on? Let's just get our 3-minute break and back in it. Sean takes his kids outside the gym, gives them the opportunity to start fresh, and they come back into the gym knowing, hey, now we got to win just one game. That's the only possible mindset you can have. You can't think about being down 0-2. You've got to think about winning this game because this is the only game that matters. You can't go back and undo that. You can't go back and throw the challenge flag and see if there was a touch there or not. It's live volleyball from here on going forward, and it's 1 game to 25 as far as the Crimson are concerned.
Well, I talked about earlier with Armstrong, you don't want to think negative thoughts, but it was one month ago, actually, that they were up 2-0 on Centennial, ended up losing, and then 2 nights later we're up 2-0 on Tino Grace, ended up losing, and on their home court too. So obviously it can change. I mean, it isn't, you don't run out of time because of the score clock. You're in it still if you're Maple Grove here. I mean, obviously you'd rather be the team up 2-0 than down 2-0, but like you said, if you just say, let's win this one, then anything can happen from there.
Yeah, there's a lot of truisms. I run some youth stuff down in our gym down in Burnsville during the fall, and you give them those little truth nuggets. Like, I've been around this game a long time, and the team that scores the last point tends to win every match that I've ever been around, and that's kind of the mentality that the Crimson got to have at this point of, hey, 1 point at a time. Now, you can't dig yourself a hole like they did towards the end of set 1, because even if they would have played well down 18-24, you got to get real lucky to come back and win that one. But at 20-24, you get a little run there. You fall a little short, but maybe they got that momentum here to start set 3.
And on the flip side, if you're Armstrong, you can't be patting yourself on the back right now. You have to be thinking, step on the gas, because it's one thing if you're playing a team that you're just clearly a lot better than, but I don't think that's necessarily the case here.
No, I think these two teams are very evenly matched, and they're going to need to, like you said, stay on the accelerator if they're going to win this one 3-0.
Maple Grove gets on the board first here as Preed scores it for the Crimson, and now Paige Hinsey trying to get them started in style here. Clark will roll it. Ripberger giving it in the middle there and swept over by Kalber. Clark on the run. Good coverage behind that block. And then up for a quick swing and put away there by Matthews for Maple Grove.
Great end of the rally here as Matthews finds that ball. Clark, I think their system says that on the outside ball, she only has tip responsibility over the block because she's sucked way inside, and it's gotten her beat a couple times as we get the big swing off the block there from Eggstead.
Ripberger to serve here. Strong block thrown up, but Hinsey was there. Fry skipping that one off the block, and then good effort, but Paige Hinsey not able to keep that ball up. So 2 apiece.
Battling, battling, battling. That's what we're about at this point in a match.
And pounded home by Matthews. I like her aggressiveness all night. She hasn't always had that many opportunities, but it isn't because, when she's gotten her chances, she's taken advantage.
Yeah, she in rhythm. She's got a very healthy cut on the ball. Sometimes she gets a little caught, tempo is a little off on the ball, but when she's in rhythm, it's got some pace to it.
Schumacher didn't handle that serve well, and ultimately Ripberger sends it over wide. And so Maple Grove goes up 4-2. Kalber tipping that one over for Armstrong.
Yeah, good spot. She goes off the edge of the block into the 1-2 seam there right at the 10-foot line in the sideline.
Clark with the serve, trying to tie things up here for her Falcons. And off the block and good as Preed gets it done here for Maple Grove, and they go up 5-3.
Healthy cut from Preed there. I like the aggressiveness with the swing. The floor defense seems to be pretty good for the Falcons right now. So if they're going to score, it's going to have to get to the floor fast.
And Preed with the serving error, though, will give it back. One thing that Coach Kahn talked about when I, kind of asking what their strengths were this year, and she said the one thing is they don't have, terribly weak spots anywhere on the floor. That she felt like, sometimes teams will really attack a certain spot. She said we generally have been pretty solid, at each spot on the court, so we haven't given up a lot of long runs because of that.
Yeah, their serve receive seems to be pretty solid here tonight, and as a result, you're not going to give up many runs because you're going to be in rhythm pretty quickly.
Zanenko the serve. They come back with it to Paige Hinsey. There's Schumacher off the block. Ripberger to the middle, just tipped over there.
Nice up.
Schumacher again, and this time will put it away as Hinsey moving left couldn't quite get fully to it. And Armstrong takes that one after a long rally.
Schumacher on her 3rd attempt of the rally puts that ball in the seam between the Hinseys.
Zanenko has served well tonight. Matthews denied there at the net as Hecht gets up.
Good commit block there from Hecht, and Fry will take another look here. Forehand sitting in front of her. She tries to go inside seam, and it just disappears on her.
Wow. Zanenko a bullet there, but then put away as Maple Grove goes quick offense in the middle, and Peeler gets the job done.
Good pass from Hinsey. Quick set in the middle, and Peeler finds the deep corner. Allison Hinsey putting together a nice match when she decides she wants to get after a ball.
Peterson the serve here for Grove. Hecht had to reach for that one, but still got it over nicely. Clark getting under that ball well for a good pass. And then it's put away for the kill by Audrey Schumacher for Armstrong.
Audrey Schumacher, the lesser-known left side, probably, if I had the stats in front of me, I bet she's probably even, if not ahead of Clark on kills, as she's getting the ball a little more frequently and doesn't quite have the double block standing in front of her like Clark does.
And an ace from Fry right there. Now Armstrong, they've had their share of serving troubles too, but they've definitely outserved Maple Grove overall tonight.
Yeah, it's aggressive. It's what we call a level 3 serve across the board. They're going for it. They'll take some misses because they're getting that many aces.
And Fry, usually when we start to talk about it, that doesn't happen. This time she followed through and said exactly what you were talking about. So thank you very much, Riley, for that one. 10-6 Armstrong lead. And then that one.
There's the misser. It was just delayed, Jay, just delayed.
The jinx came late. 10-7 now, lead for Armstrong as Maple Grove will get the serve. Zanenko to her knees to get to that one now. Hecht firing away. Schumacher wasn't ready. That one would have been a pretty easy chance if she had gotten up. And ultimately, Paige Hinsey puts it away.
Paige Hinsey, when she gets behind the ball and gets hitting downhill, that's the result. She sees the block well. She goes around it or through it. It was hard to tell from our angle there, but that block didn't slow that ball down at all. Nice swing from the junior outside.
Out called serving again. And a misfire there by Audrey Schumacher. So Armstrong was feeling pretty good after they built that 10-6 lead, but Maple Grove reels off 3 in a row. Off the block, and Hinsey able to get that pass away, and she'll get a swing from it and puts it away. She's starting to really feel it right now.
That's the difference. When you're in rhythm and the last ball fell, you got a lot more confidence with the next ball. That's what we have going on right here. If that ball gets picked up, that last ball she swings, she gets blocked or it gets picked up, I bet she doesn't hit with that same ferociousness on an out-of-system ball, which is what we had there.
And too strong with that serve. Outcalto did her job coming in and getting her team on a roll. Armstrong leads, though, 11-10 after that serve out, and Audrey Schumacher, the sophomore, to serve here for Armstrong. And nice tip. Well, Hinsey's been firing fastballs at him, and that time a little change of pace and gets the job done, 11-11. Brown, the serve, and just too long. Good communication by Armstrong. That was not one of those that was a sure thing, automatic, let it go. They had to talk.
Right. Communication at the end there leading to the point.
And Elise Schumacher will come in to serve here for the Falcons. Hinsey punching it over. Ripberger giving it middle, and Talbot puts it away for Armstrong.
Nice swing there as she goes deep to zone 1 as Brown kind of cheating up early, not thinking that ball was going to be coming to her. Sean Haugen letting her know that she needs to play a little defense first.
That one almost dropped in. Paige Hinsey rushing in to get it. And now we have a net violation. So things continuing to spiral a little bit against Maple Grove.
3, yep.
And was this ball touched?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Up ref making the call, not even looking for line judges, had it all the way. Let's take another look here. Great swing off the edge of Clark there. Good rip from Paige Hinsey.
Yep, definitely got some fingers there. I don't think there was any doubt about that among the officials even initially there. So 14-12 deficit now for the Crimson. Ripberger had to play that one over as ball was pretty tight to the net. She was backing up as much as she could and then realized I'm going to have to just play this attack on the second ball here.
Yeah, and we got Matu's flat-footed. She's got to recognize where that setter is and go make a play there.
Zanenko will send it to Fry, pushing it deep to the corner, and Maple Grove was caught cheating up a little bit. Obviously not the play you design if you're Armstrong here, but she did a good job of reading that the defense had crept up.
Crimson fans wanting a double contact there. Tight play late. I could have seen it.
Allison Hinsey sending it over. Zanenko charges in to take that one, and then off the block, and Fry will get a kill for Armstrong as they've started to roll again a little bit. 17-12 Falcons lead. Timeout taken by Maple Grove here as they're starting to, this one feels a little bit like the first set where they were right there and leading for a while, and it's kind of starting to unravel just a little bit.
We'll see that last point. Hinsey to Hinsey to Hinsey, and free ball. Gonna get Fry an opportunity. The block is a little early moving and a little late getting across. When you're going to swing block, you want to stay in your middle position a little bit longer and chase that ball down at the end to get your hands across as the contact is being made by the attacker. Right now, Armstrong, everything kind of running smooth for them, right? Simple play. They're not doing anything overly fancy. They're just keeping the ball off the floor and being a little bit smarter out of system. Maple Grove making some errors that you can't have from a varsity squad at this point in the season. Trying to figure out where that chink in the armor might be. I think it starts with the communication at serve receive. There's some hesitation in movement and who's taking what ball. Sean Haugen talked to us before the match about when this team is good, they're passing a 2-2, a 2-3, which doesn't mean a whole lot to most of our fans, but basically that means 40 to 60% of the time you have all three of your options as a setter, and the rest of the time you have two. So it's a pretty good place to be. They're definitely about a 1-4 right now, which is not good enough to get it done in this conference.
Fry goes up. Armstrong got all bunched up there. More players than one wanted a swing there, but they get away with it now. Here's Clark. Hinsey, and they cannot get it over. So Maple Grove just kind of things not going, you see communication right there, a little bit of an issue again. Ripberger to serve.
Good decision. Oh, great heads-up play.
Fry stayed with it, and then the block. Wow.
Everything coming up Falcons right now. Chaos at the net, and Fry's able to just flip it over and then reset her body, and there's a great double block as Matus tries to unload on a ball.
Tip to the middle. Fry gets there. And now Clark will send it deep toward the corner. Good recovery by Hinsey. And that one sprayed just a little too long, though, by Matus. And Armstrong first to 20 now at 20-12. Timeout, Maple Grove.
Yeah, Maple Grove kind of looking around, licking wounds right now. Not in the aggressive space they need to be. We'll take a look at this last serve here. Ball is passed up and off the net from 8 feet. Not a whole lot of options. We're going to tip that ball over. Fry reads it well. Ripberger takes an out-of-system ball. Clark going to hit a little roll shot here, and it causes chaos as there's communication errors. Ball's off the net again. Matus going for it, but unsure of where that ball's going to be. She's 3 steps into her 4-step approach before it's released and overruns it. They just got to let volleyball come to them a little bit right now. They're trying to overrun plays, trying to overrun sets, trying to overrun digs, all the little things instead of playing calm volleyball. Couple deep breaths for the Crimson. They might have a shot here, but 13 before 5 is a pretty big obstacle to overcome, meaning Maple Grove would need to score 13 points before the Falcons get 5 here to end the match.
Ripberger back at the serving line here for Armstrong as they try and continue what's been a strong run, trying to see if they can put Maple Grove away in 3. Matthews and not able to deliver there, so 21-12.
Matthews all sorts of frustrated, and looks like we got, 8th grader Skylar Gray coming off the bench to relieve Matthews and just let her just relax. She's definitely in her own space right now, frustrated, down at the end of the bench.
And they serve it right at Gray to start it out.
Saving grace from Black there.
Here's pounded by Clark. And it comes over, and then Fry a misfire. I think they thought that ball maybe was going to hit the ceiling. I thought so, but it didn't.
Yeah, really fortunate positioning there for Maple Grove as they finally get that side out. Down 13-21. Allison Hinsey, the libero, to serve.
Allie Gruel coming in here, and they go right at her, just like Armstrong did. No mercy. And it's put away by Fry. So the Falcons go up by 9 again.
Fry definitely not playing like an 8th grader. She's got a cannon of an arm, not afraid to take the big swing. But again, up 21-13, you can get house there, and it's not a big deal. She's playing very free at this point.
Elise Schumacher coming in. I think Coach trying to get all the seniors on the court, maybe to hopefully, end the night for them in style here on senior night.
And I think that's what we have as I'm looking down the roster. 6, 7, 10, and 13 all on the floor here to finish the match. Everything you're looking for. Good job by Coach to get those seniors on the floor to end their potentially last home match as Armstrong Falcons.
Preed with the serve. And wide is trying to find the corner there was Allie Gruel. So 22-15, Maple Grove saying, well, 1 point at a time. Yes, it's an uphill climb, but Clark from the back and puts that one away as Hinsey not able to get it up. So 23-15 Armstrong.
This is one of those feel-good times from a coach standpoint. You're just really excited to see these kids getting opportunities. And there was an error there, and there was a little bit of tension on the court. And a couple of the underclassmen were like, hey, we'll get you out of this rotation. Let's just everybody stay relaxed. And they do. They go to Clark out of the back row to get that side out. Now we're going to make sure we got the right players on the floor. And we're good.
Maddie Zanenko to serve here for the Falcons, up 23-15. Another tough serve, but this time they weren't quite able to win the battle at the net, so Maple Grove hanging in there. Peterson will serve now for the Crimson. Ripberger able to recover after that first one was blocked. Here's Clark. And put away by Paige Hinsey for Maple Grove. And Audrey Schumacher will check back in. The one thing that, obviously it's a good thing to get your seniors in, but it can disrupt the rhythm of, the players who haven't been out there very much tonight.
100% correct, Jay. Good pass there.
Hinsey's going to tip this time. Fry able to recover and get to it. Clark batting it over left-handed. Hinsey another tip. And Schumacher will send it over. Joust at the net. Armstrong will go again now with Fry. Peeler with the tip. It wasn't really by design, but it'll work out.
Good end of the rally here as Peeler sees the 4 is open as Clark is back a little bit deeper than she tends to be normally. 18-23, Grove on a run.
And Hinsey will push that one between the blockers, and this one is not over yet.
20-12 at one point. It's been a 7-3 run for the Crimson. I don't know that Armstrong's in trouble quite yet, but they're definitely feeling a little bit of pressure. Got the normal 6 back on the floor here. Let's take another look at this last point. I thought Hinsey was going to take the overpass and swing at it. Brown does a really good job of getting it back to her, and Fry late getting her hands up and over, and Hinsey goes right in between her hands. Good swing by the junior outside hitter. Little bit of, I don't know that, like I said, I don't know that we'd say pressure for the Falcons right now, but they definitely need a side out off of this timeout. You don't want to get it to a 3-point set when you were at 1 point up by 8. Tough serving. That's been the Achilles heel though, right? For the Crimson. They'll go on a run and then just give one away. If they can play clean volleyball and make Armstrong win this point here, good things could be in front of the Crimson.
Peterson to serve here for Maple Grove. Schumacher had it blocked. They'll go the other way to Fry. And score another one for the Crimson as Preed able to get it done from the back.
Good back row set. Preed asking for the ball. Block goes up like she's a front row hitter, so she's on the way down by the time that ball gets to her.
Here's Fry, and that one is denied. Maple Grove right back in it. They're down by 2.
See the back set here to Fry. Fry trying to unload on the ball, and the hands in the way. 23-21.
Rolled over here. Ripberger gets to it. Armstrong trying to get the momentum back. Fry able to drop one in, and now they get that 24th point as they break a long streak for Maple Grove. 24-21, and Riley Fry will serve.
Fry been blocked a couple times. Sean Haugen up off his seat before that ball was even hit, knowing the 8th grader was probably going to tip here, and that's what we have. We got Fry serving for the match. Another bullet.
Oh, Hinsey struggled with that one. They will get it over though. Ripberger has to track it down. Now Clark. Paige Hinsey toward the deep corner. Is it good? No, and Armstrong will win. It was not easy in the end as they had the big lead and just had to fight off that rally for Maple Grove, so they will in fact end up getting the sweep.
Take a look at this last point again. Great serve. Hinsey in trouble. Peterson backing up the backup to the backup, sends it over. Clark makes a good play here. Ripberger brings it back into the middle of the court. Roll shot picked up easily by Little Hinsey. High outside ball. This is another great swing that just misses the sideline. Love the energy and effort to finish out the set. Match goes to Armstrong as they put themselves in a good position for this crossover.
So that'll be coming up next Tuesday, but first, good luck to both teams as they head to tournaments. Maple Grove in Lakeville, and Armstrong will be in Brainerd. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's match. For Andy Gugasberg and all of our 12 Sports crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Armstrong High School.